Happy New Year, you filthy animals, and welcome back to the podcast. It's a new year, it's a new vibe, and it's a new season. I recently celebrated the anniversary of the podcast, January 2nd, as you all know. I wanted to see how much I've changed, basically, and that surprised me, to say the least, that I've come such a long way from mumbling words, from mumbling words to changing my cadence. So what I did was post the very first episode, but the time it was titled episode 0 and nobody had listened to it. So I kind of got like a little, you know, my confidence was like, oh shit, nobody's going to listen to it. So I took it down. Figured I put a song in there. It got taken down due to copyright issues. It was a big letdown for me. I didn't know any better at the time. I'm sorry. I apologize. So a little editing here and there, and now have the reintroduction of season 1, episode 0. But now, now, ladies and gentlemen, now I am happy to say this to you. Welcome, my father's behavior squad. I am Evo, and you are listening to season 3 of From Under the Apron. I guess it's safe to say I am back, but we're doing a little networking here and there, adding the podcast to more ears. Over the weekend, I went back to the old stomping grounds, the old TikTok, Tickety Talk. I was still trying to figure out this whole live stream situation in other places, but I remembered that on TikTok, you can save your video, the video of your stream, so maybe I'll start doing episodes over there as well. So we'll have to see. But I did hit up an old friend on there. Got the stream on his box. Got to box up. Got to be in his box. How do you say that over there? I don't forgot. He asked me why I left for 2 years. 2 whole years. 2 whole years, guys. I've been gone from that place because I felt it was problematic. It was toxic. I didn't feel like myself there. I didn't appreciate. I guess I didn't appreciate any of it. I just wasn't in the right mindset to be there. So I had to tell him a partial truth. I just kept saying that I have to leave here to get some live streaming experience, I guess you could say. Um, y'all saw how shy and timid I was on TikTok before I left. That's what I told him. Like, y'all saw me how I just, like, would be all nervous and stuff and not vibe with anybody or just get get worried about any troll that would pass in, that would come in and just mess with me. Yeah, that was me. Um, it may have taken me a whole 2 years, but during that time, I got some podcasting experience and learned how to talk to people. So with that, I come back, I can actually talk without fumbling my words or looking nervous. I needed that experience. I needed to know if I could do it elsewhere by myself. And I did. And that's exactly what I did. For some reason, when I reviewed the video of my TikTok live last night, because that's what they do, and that's one of the things I want to use it for, is to record so I can put it on YouTube and not have issues. They think I'm fake over there. They think I'm an AI, apparently. I'm kidding, guys. Please don't unlike the video. You guys are awesome. Thank you, YouTube. Appreciate you. But when I look back at the video, I guess I changed my cadence there too and held myself with such confidence because there I have about, what, 9,000 followers? While the other place that I streamed, I was just starting out. I was a rookie streamer, I guess you could say. Hmm. Doesn't feel like I'm a veteran, huh? So we're going to see how this turns out for the new season. With a new season comes new stories, new segments, new predictions, definitely new friends coming up to join me on the podcast, on my podcast endeavor. Hey, it's Evo. We're going to get back to the episode you're listening to, but first, let me tell you about Dark Fate Creations. Dark Fate Creations are candles that are vibrant, colorful, marble tops, amazing, mouth-watering fragrances, fueled by lovely braided cotton wicks. Paper threads woven into every cotton wick for a clean, romantic, slow, and consistent burn. Each candle is unique from the next as they are hand-mixed and hand-poured right in Grass Valley, California. They use only coconut and soy waxes for a safer, cleaner, and longer burn time. That's almost 72 hours. That's like binging on all 130 episodes of the podcast. All fragrance blends have been heavily researched. Dark Fate Creations not only care about the look, fragrance, and quality of their candles and their other products, but also the effects they have in their customers' homes. So go to darkfatecreations.com. The link will be in the show notes.
Hi everyone, I'm Lisa.
And I'm Dawn.
And if you've ever watched a TV show and thought to yourself, oh my god, that season finale plot twist was absolutely bonkers.
Or seen a movie and thought, wow, I need to talk to somebody about this train wreck immediately.
Then we think you'll fit right in with our podcast, I Hate It, Let's Watch It. We watch TV shows like Riverdale and Emily in Paris.
And movies like Deep Water, Killer Sofa, Rubber, and Deadly Illusions. And we give them the total rinsing they deserve.
It's basically group therapy for movie masochists. So come check us out wherever you stream podcasts.
So last week I started a new segment called Savage Grandma Stories. And I got a lot of awesome feedback about the story that I told. People thought it was funny. I mean, it was, I guess. I lived it. I lived through it. It was the most craziest time of my life. This is going to be very limited. I have a few stories, but I'll probably be able to tell a few more. I'm going to try to remember what else she did. Maybe I'll call my mom and ask her how she was with her when she was young. But it's like just remembering that I lived out there in Nicaragua, in another country, and then my mom dropped me off there and said stay here for like 2 years. Or I decided to stay here for 2 years anyways. Like... I'm just like, this is on me. This is my choice. I decided to stay here. I decided to live through this, and live through it. I did. All right. So story number 2. My grandma cares too much about her family. Her other granddaughter, my cousin, we share the same birthday. But she's like what, 10, 12, 15 years older than me. So she is like fucking, she used to bully me too. But at the same time, like, alright, grandma went to work. She took care of me. So Grams had told her not to hang out with this girl, with her best friend, because she was a bad influence and she never wanted to see her around our neighborhood. So I didn't see anything wrong with her. Except for the fact that, like, she was very flirty. And I'm just like... I'm 12, ma'am. She was older, but she was just like, haha, teasing. Whatever. But grandma said no. It's final. Don't do it. You're done. You can't go. You can't. This was Nicaragua. This was like fucking Central America. This was like, whoa, hey. You're not going to survive this, buddy. So one day, my grandma and I went out practically the entire day. That's what we do out there. We go out the entire day. She doesn't have a car, so we took a cab over there, and then we take a cab back, and we hung out the entire day. But as soon as we get to the block before our stop, she tells the cabbie to shut the lights because she wants to see who my cousin is hanging out with in the corner, just hanging out on the fucking steps. And there she is. The girl who she told not to hang out with. She told her, she warned her, I'm gonna beat that bitch's ass if you keep hanging out with her. I already told you I don't like her. I, your grandma ever told you that? And you're like, yeah, okay, grandma, whatever, blah, blah, blah. It's like, I'll keep hanging out with them. You know, she's a bad influence, but, I'll keep hanging out with them. And then your grandma beats your ass when, right? Your grandma beats your ass after you don't listen to them or listen to her. So that's not what happened. That's not exactly what happened. Um, she just didn't like her for some reason. She wanted nothing to do with her. She didn't want to. She didn't want her coming over to the house. She didn't want her presence there because she was a bad influence on my cousin. My cousin would just like sneak off into the night and just go out with her best friend clubbing, come home the next day in the fucking early mornings and beat her ass. Like, where the fuck have you been? And guess what we had out there? La chancla. La chancla. A freaking little chancla. So she's like, vente pa acá, cabrona. La chancla. And grandma's like fucking, her aim is on point. She has that curve where you're like standing on one side, you think you're being blocked, but no, it somehow hits you. It's like, what the hell? She's the curve lady. She has a curveball, alright? Curveball with la chancla, right? So she does that. Fucking, we're like sneaking into it. And she tells the copy, I was like, alright, stop right here. And we were looking over there. And then I'm telling grandma, yeah, that's her. That's Jenny. She's not gonna fucking listen to this. Jenny's not gonna listen to this. Yeah, that's Jenny. Who's she with? Who's she with? And I'm just like, oh, some other girl. Don't worry, grandma. Don't worry. Some other girl. I lied. I lied to her. I shouldn't have lied. Damn, I lied to her. Like, no, that's that bitch. Senor, can you please like keep driving and at the stop right there in front of them, and let me. She'll get out. She gets into her wallet, gives me the money, and I'm looking at it like, what do you want me to do? Pay him. Like, oh shit. Okay, yeah. I will. All right, cool. So he's all like, all right, just let me know when to stop. So we fucking drive all the way out there. We get to the fucking corner. He stops. She gets out of the cab. She immediately runs after the best friend, not my cousin. She runs after the best friend, and I'm just like, well, shit, okay. Here, cab driver, sir, take the money. I didn't know if I needed like change back. I left it there. Oops. She didn't tell me. I didn't fucking know. So I grab the stuff. I take it inside the house. Next thing you know, she's running after this girl. I hear my cousin, Grandma, stop! No, 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 don't do it! This fucking girl runs. Oh, geez, a runner. My grandma's a runner. Fucking catches up to her, beats her ass. Beats her ass. I'm inside the house. My cousin comes in there. Jenny's all like, what did you say to her? Why is she beating her? I'm like, what happened? What's going on? She's beating her ass. She beat her ass. And I was like, whoa, I'm sorry. She told you. She told you not to hang out with her, But my cousin's all like, no, this is fucking dumb. This is fucking stupid. Why can't I live? Blah, 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 blah. Woe is me. Why can't I live my life? All that fucking bullshit, right? She told you not to hang out with her anymore. She's a bad influence on you. Blah, blah, blah. All that shit. Fucking grandma comes back, says that she knocked her down and fucking kicked her while she was down. The girl left. She came back inside the house. Next, it's my cousin. It's like, I fucking told you not to hang out with her. La chancla. He had la chancla. She had La Chancla already, and it fucked up because she tripped over with her too. She fucking slapped the shit out of my cousin. My cousin decided to fucking slap back 'cause she thought she was old enough. No, grandma just what right there on the cheek. Done. It's todo. She was she was badass. She was fucking menace. It was like, oh my god. Um, and then like, even after all that, she looks over at me. She's like, "Did you get my change back?" I'm like, "There was change." She walks away, disappointed in me. And I'm looking over at my cousin. She's fucking crying on the fucking. You go, no, I didn't get beat. Not as bad as that. No, I didn't get beat. I didn't get my ass beaten as bad as my cousin did. She was fucking face first on the pillow, crying her eyes out because she can't play with her friend anymore, her best friend. They're like 21 years old. And grandma's all like, as long as you're living under my roof, you're gonna go obey my rules and blah blah blah, all that shit. Trust me, I did get beat though. Later on, because I was like, this girl was a bad influence on my cousin. My cousin was a bad influence on me. Like, I happened to pull off some crazy stunts and then got beat up for that and got my ass kicked. La chancla. So yeah, not only did my mom have la chancla stories, grandma had some chancla stories. Um, so yeah, that was one of those stories right there. Um, what y'all think? More grandma stories in the near future? Like, should I do more? I have one more story, and I'm just gonna like save it for later. Save it for the next episode. So we're gonna save that one, and it's my favorite story of all time.
Movies and feelings. Pop, pop. Bring Your Own Popcorn is a podcast that dives into people and the movies who love them. Let us preach to your choir or stoke your ire as we spiral down memory lane with cult classics, Jurassics, and other genres that rhyme with traffic. What we lack in education, we make up for with comedy, compassion, and camaraderie. I'm your host, Mixtape Majesty, inviting you to join me and an assortment of wonderful guests on fine podcast apps everywhere. Bring your own popcorn.
Hi, everyone. This is JJ, the co-founder of Good Pods. If you haven't heard of it yet, Good Pods is like Goodreads or Instagram, but for podcasts. It's new, it's social, it's different, and it's growing really fast. There are more than 2 million podcasts, and we know that it is impossible to figure out what to listen to. On Good Pods, you follow your friends and podcasters to see what they like. That is the number one way to discover new shows and episodes. You can find Good Pods on the web or download the app. Happy listening.
Welcome back, everyone, to another rewatch and recap episode of Glow on Netflix. You can watch along with me or just listen to me ramble on about one of my favorite shows on the app. This is season 1. We are finally at episode 10, the season finale, titled The Money is in the Chase. Written by, once again, the creators of the show, Liz Flahib and Carly Mensch. This episode was directed by Tristan Shapiro, who was born in 1966 in Bath, Somerset, England, UK. He is a director and producer known for Community, Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt, and Never Have I Ever. Other TV shows he's been involved in are Veep, New Girl, Parks and Rec, The Good Place, Superstore, and Zoe's Extraordinary Playlist. The synopsis: Glow is set to have its first televised event, but it is without its main star and director, as Debbie has decided to move back in with Mark, and Sam goes out to reconcile with Justine after discovering that she is his illegitimate daughter. So the big revelation is that is a changed man, has been seeing a therapist to help cope with the divorce, which ultimately got overshadowed by the big shocking twist in the last episode that Justine joined the women's wrestling team to be close to her father, and Sam kissed her thinking she was an underage groupie. Okay, it wasn't a divorce, it was like separation, you know? Guest starring on this episode, of course, Rich Summer as Mark, Andy Imberger as one of the sponsors, Patty O'Town, Alex Rich as Bash's assistant, Florian, and Winston James Francis as Carmen's father, wrestler Goliath Jackson. Cold open, the girls. Wow. Cold open, the girls gather up for the Cold open, the girls gather stuff up for the big performance. Ruth tells Jenny she doesn't think they need a sewing machine. She replies, if a costume rips, they'll need to fix it fast. Sam pulls up. She asks him what's going on, saying that she left a million messages with his service. She recoils, saying he smells like a distillery. He says that's what happens when you drink for 3 days straight. She says she told everyone that he was at Iselin meditating. She tells him to take a shower and meet them at the Hayward. He asks why. She explains that they're making glow, that Bash's mom gave them a ballroom. Jenny's doing costumes, Sheila's on sound, and she did the props. They're hanging on by a thread. He tells her the bombshell he recently learned that Justine is his child. He says he didn't handle finding it well, that he's no father figure. She tells him to stop feeling sorry for himself and go talk to her. He says he doesn't know what to say to her, that he doesn't even know which room is hers. She grabs him, telling him to come on. Artie asks him how the invitation was. She asks what the smell is, and he calls it bourbon and despair. He asks where Justine is, and she says that she probably spent the night at Billy's. He curses. Who the fuck is Billy? And Ruth comments sarcastically that he sounded very paternal. Artie explains that Billy's a pizza delivery guy. Ruth tells Sam that Justine won't miss shooting the pilot. He sighs, saying that he thinks she's gone, that he would if he were her. Ruth says that if she's anything like him, she's stubborn and confrontational. She tells him to go find her, but to brush his teeth first. She'll keep things moving. Melrose rounds up all the girls in the limo that she's had since episode 1, telling them to get moving. She still has to get gas. She looks out at Debbie, who is near her car, and asks if she's riding with them or she's taking her own horse and carriage. Alright, so back to him drinking for 3 days straight because of finding out he has a daughter, or because they made Mothers and Lovers into Back to the Future? They stole his idea? Because they stole his idea, so he's all like, oh, I want to go bourbon despair, drink for 3 days straight. Not, why would you get drunk for 3 days straight after finding out you have a daughter? Then, oh, because you almost kissed her. All right, good to know. Ruth approaches Debbie, who is packing all her stuff in her car. She asks if she's moving out, and she's not. And she says that she can't work things out with Mark if they're not living in the same house. Cherry says that it doesn't look like a friendly chat. Carmen asks if they should go over and help, but they all agree that they shouldn't. They ask Ruth if everything's okay, and Ruth tells them that Debbie is getting back together with Mark and bailing on the show. Carmen asks who she's going to fight, and she admits she doesn't know. Cherry says they'll figure it out and they should go make a show. Keith is in the front passenger with Melrose, who is ready to drive off, but he tells her first song to come on is An Omen. Melrose says she doesn't believe in radio voodoo. Keith and Melrose stare at each other as he turns the radio on, and if we threw it all away, things can only get better by Howard Jones plays. That was horrible. I apologize. I don't even know the rhythm of the song at all. I just thought maybe I should sing it. I'll do better next time. Melrose says it's a sign. They cheer and they drive off. The Glow logo appears on the screen. So y'all know me. If you know anything about this, I do this all the time. Y'all probably heard the music episode with Babel a couple of months ago, where I said the day I found out I was hired after being unemployed for a whole year back in 2013, I turned the radio on and the first song to come on was Smile by Scarface and Tupac. And then when I found out my A1C was a 5.4, the first song that came on was Victorious by Panic at the Disco. Radio Voodoo. I'm glad I'm not the only one that believes in Radio Voodoo. It does exist. I'm not crazy. It's a thing. I've seen it happen. I'm watching it happen on TV. I've watched it happen on other shows. It's a thing in real life also. Okay? Radio Voodoo. Y'all should do that one day. Just like something in your life dramatically happens. First thing on the radio. First song on the radio. Turn it on. Radio Voodoo. That's your omen for the future. Alright, back to the episode. The group assembles in the Howard family ballroom up to Hayward. Tammy asks how they're going to fill all the seats. Bash greets them, saying that he, Florian, and some of the bellhops have been working on it all morning. He speaks into the microphone, which immediately squeals. Ruth calls on Sheila to fix the sound problem. One of the cameramen asks if the director is around. Then they need to position the tripods. She tells him there's to be no tripods. One replies that the network said to keep it simple, but Ruth tells him that the director is going for something a little different. Visceral shots. It'll all be handheld, moving around with them. They should both pace at the perimeter of the ring. One of them points out that if they do that, the viewers will see one of them in every shot. Not like they don't do that already in real life. She says they'll figure it out. She reassures the girls that they have time to figure everything out. Even if they change the lineup, they know the moves. And they still have a few hours to prepare, so it should be plenty of time. She pointed out that Sam promised them pink ropes, and they got pink ropes. Melrose yells that she's loving the pink rose. Bash is excited for him and tries to shake the ropes like the Ultimate Warrior does, but he breaks the rope from the corner of the ring. Ah! Oops. Ruth tells the girls to help her find the dressing rooms while Bash and everyone else fix the ropes again. Next scene, Justine and Billy are sitting down to play board games when the doorbell rings. Billy's mother tells Justine there's someone there to see her. It's Sam. Billy's mom asks if the kids want anything, but they say no. Sam says coffee would be nice. The mom walks away. Justine asks how he found her, and he says that he called the pizza place and ordered a pizza. He shook down the kid who brought it, and he sang like a canary. Billy gets up from the couch and Sam tells him to relax. He's just there to talk to Justine, so no need to puff his chest out. Justine tells him she doesn't have anything to say to him. He says he's sorry he tried to fuck her, that he never would have if she had just told him that she's his daughter. Okay. At this point, Billy's mom, who walked in, terrified of what she just heard, asks Sam if he wants milk or sugar. So cringy. I thought it was comedic delivery. Sam turns around without skipping a beat and tells the mom he likes it black. Yeah, black. Thank you very much. The mom walks away. What the fuck did she just let in her house? Justine asks if this is her fault. He says that there's no great way to deliver the news, but he doesn't get her coming out and pretending to audition for the show, then following him around like some crazed fangirl. It made things worse. She says she just wanted to meet him. It wasn't a diabolical plan. He asks if her name is really Justine. She says that it is. Justine Victoria Biaggi. He says it's a nice name and asks if she's coming to the show. She admits that she doesn't actually care about wrestling. Ooh. She never said anything about being fake. I'm glad. And didn't do any of this so that she could wrestle. He says that it can only get better from there. At least he thinks so or hopes so. She stays silent. He says, okay. He gets it. He turns around to leave but tells Billy's mom he's going to take a rate check on that coffee. But you have a lovely home.
like to drink wine? Do you like to talk about your favorite things and rank them in categories? Then you have come to the right place. Welcome to the Sip List, a podcast where, you guessed it, we drink lots of wine and make lists of all our favorite things. My name's Amanda, and each week my guest and I will review a favorite wine we're drinking, or if they aren't cool enough to drink wine, then the lame beverage of their choice. And then we will rank our top 5 favorites of different things in different categories. You can expect to hear all kinds of things, from favorite horror movies to favorite Disney characters, favorite true crime books to favorite women in history. The episodes will be diverse, but they will always include wine, lists, and lots of laughs. You can find the Sip List on social media. On Facebook, just search the Sip List Pod. Be sure to like the page and join the private Facebook group for the most up-to-date info on everything that's happening. You can also find us on Instagram at the Sip List Pod. I'm really excited to bring you guys some fun and amazing content, and I hope you'll join me on this journey. And until next time, whenever life is tough, just keep sipping.
As the girls get ready, Dawn applies a glitter unibrow to Artie. Yeah, you heard that right. A glitter unibrow. Lovely. She and Stacy both agree that they like it, but Stacy comments to Rhonda that she actually doesn't like it at all, that it looks crazy. Ruth tells them all to talk with Jenny about costumes once they're done with hair and makeup, and to stretch with Cherry if they're just waiting around. Melrose asks who put her in charge, and she asks if she wants to do it instead. Rhonda asks if Sam is okay, and Ruth says that she wouldn't call it okay, but he'll be fine being Sam. He'll be fine being Sam. Rhonda still cares, obviously. Bash arrives saying that those mics are hotter than Kelly LeBrock. Ooh. Alright, kids. New kids. New people that are listening to this. If you don't know who Kelly LeBrock is, let me tell you who she is. Go watch The Woman in Red, which came out in 1984, and Weird Science, which came out that year, 1985. But I think he's referring more to The Woman in Red. So around this timeline, she's absolutely beautiful. My God. She was a poster girl for... Anyway, she's absolutely beautiful, and she's been modeling since she was 16 years old. But absolutely watch Weird Science. I guarantee you. Alright, back to the show. Bash asks where Sam is. Ruth tells him he had a family emergency, and Bash comments that he doesn't even have any family. What are you talking about? Ruth says that that's the emergency and they'll need him to announce. He loves the idea. He says he brought his tuxedo and was born for this moment. Bash's childhood wrestling dream is coming true. What wrestling fan wouldn't want to announce a play-by-play commentary on a wrestling show, right? He's living our dream basically. He's doing what we all wanted to do, doing play-by-play. Ruth says she wrote all of his lines. He says he'll probably embroider them, looking at her cards and asking about the newly described tag team match that's ending everything. Ruth looks up at Bash about ready to tell her about Devi, but she doesn't. Or she does, actually. She tells him about Devi. Melrose, Sheila, and Tammy sneak a peek at the audience, which is sparse. Tammy comments that she was an audience coordinator for Family Feud. That if you want people to sit, you have to give them something. Melrose says that she has $300 in cash in her bag. Sheila has $5 minus money for ice cream. They run to a showing of Back to the Future, offering $10 each to get people to sit to watch the show. Melrose comments that the movie sold out until midnight, so they're never going to get a seat for that anyway. A guy asks who they are. Sheila says that they're the gorgeous ladies of wrestling. Rawr! And if he wants to see more, he's going to have to take the money and meet her at the Hayward. Rawr! Okay. Also, that's true about Back to the Future. It was sold out everywhere. That movie was amazing. Bash puts on his tuxedo and makeup, glitter on his eyelids. Jenny fusses with the sewing machine, but Bash tells her to save it for the ring. On his way out, he greets Glenn Klitnick, who looks for Cherry and greets her at Detective Chambers, telling her that she knocked her audition out of the park. He claims his lips are sealed on whether or not she actually got the part, but he heard that they're setting her up for a costume fitting next week. He says she'll have to give Sam and Bash notice. She asks if she can't do both, but he thinks that would be too confusing for the audience, commenting 1 minute she's fighting crime, the next she's getting her ass kicked in the ring. Well, that's true. They chuckle and he leaves, wishing everyone good luck. Cherry looks troubled. I mean, now it's all like, oh shit, you have two jobs. Back then it was like, you can't do that. It's not believable. In the ring, Bash introduces the show but struggles with microphone feedback. He encourages everyone to cheer, boo, and be a part of the show. A woman already boos. She hates it. Bash begins the show, introducing Rhonda as the smartest woman in the world, Britannica. He says that her brain is 4 pounds heavier than that of an average girl. With her is her trusty Globot, Bash's robot from the third episode, which got fried when Justine bumped her cup of alcohol on it. Britannica's opponent is introduced as being from the dusty, dangerous deserts of Lebanon, Artie as the terrorist Beirut. Sam says that do anything to win, hijack the whole match if she has to. Britannica, however, has brain, brawn, and beauty, a triple threat. The match begins as the two go at it. The crowd is stirred up as Britannica goes on the attack, encouraging her to break the terrorist's arms. Beirut, however, escapes and slams Britannica down, using her signature move, the Lebanese cannonball. A man curses her and spits from the audience. Someone else throws a beer can at her but misses and lands on Rhonda's head, opening her up. Keith asks what their problem is, telling them that they have to go. He warns them to not make him come out because he'll fuck them up. Keith is ready to take one for the team. Backstage, Rhonda's getting patched up by Artie. She said it was really intense, and Artie agrees that everyone out there hated her, really hated her. Rhonda says that's a good thing. She's a heel now. Back in the ring, Reggie Walsh as Vicky Viking takes a pounding from Cherry Bang. Junk Chain. She then gets the upper hand. Glenn seems to be getting into the show. Keith tells her to get out of the corner as the pounds into Junk Chain with her Bronco Buster. Yes, the X-Pac Bronco Buster. That's where he got it from, I guess. Bash asks if Junk Chain will be able to hippity hop her way out of the Nordic Nightmare. Keith asks if she's okay, and she tells him that she got the part. He says he's too excited to concentrate, and she admits she doesn't know what to do. He tells her it's a leading role, and they need to celebrate once the show is over. Vicky edges back in, and they get back to wrestling. Backstage, Ruth is dealing with Stacy and Carmen, who needs to be ready in 5 minutes. Stacy tells Carmen to quit blinking. She looks like an epileptic. Oof. Ruth asks how she's doing, referring to her panic attack in the rehearsal match. Carmen, breathing heavily, comments that it's a big crowd. Ruth tells her that at the beginning of every play, she picks something in the audience to look at, like a funny shirt or a broken chair back, then focuses her attention on it like a laser beam, and it helps. Carmen suggests that she might take one of Bash's Quaaludes instead. As Sam arrives, Bash introduces the third match, Melrose versus Sheila the She-Wolf. Melrose comes out to the ring on top of two bellhop shoulders, waving at the crowd, saying she loves her fans. Bash reads from his cards and says it's a full moon tonight, so it's time to unleash the beast. Sheila arrives, chained and growling. She breaks free of her chains and Bash screams that she's loose. He rings the bell and the fight begins. He says it's not a beauty contest anymore, it's a wrestling match. Sam watches, and so do Debbie and Mark from the audience. Debbie heads to the bar and gets a shot of tequila. Sam asks what she's doing. She's the title match and she needs to be backstage getting dressed. She tells him that he left, so everyone else had to make decisions. He tells her that the whole thing builds to US versus Russia, and she tells him that Ruth has a contingency plan. She could wrestle herself and it would be entertaining. He calls her a quitter and she throws it back at him, downing her shot. Meanwhile, you can hear Bash announcing that Sheila won. Debbie suggests some coffee for Sam. She returns to Mark, who asks if she wants to go get some dinner. She says she wants to stay and support the girls, who worked really hard. He scoffs, saying that he's trying to keep an open mind, but he finds the whole thing silly. She says that is exactly what he said about Paradise Cove when she told him she had the part. Bash welcomes the audience to the second half of the show and introduces the next match, Welfare Queen and Machu Picchu. Welfare Queen comments that it smells like a donkey doo-doo. Machu breathes deeply. Bash calls Welfare Queen a parasite on the economy. Carmen's dad, Goliath Jackson, starts clapping his hands and gets the crowd going for a Machu chant, which they follow. Carmen smiles at her dad and encourages their fight. Carmen follows Ruth's tip and smiles, getting her into things. She surges forward and the match begins in earnest. Welfare Queen pulls food stamps out of her breast pocket, tossing them to the ground. She says that she takes so much money from the government, she just throws it away. She stuffs them into Machu's mouth and beats her down. The crowd jeers, and Welfare Queen comments that President Reagan says she's cheating the system. Bash suggests that she's trying to bore Machu into submission. Machu gets back up and slams Welfare Queen. Welfare Queen flips her back over and Machu is downed. Carmen looks over at her dad and tells her she's got this. She gets back up and powerbombs Welfare Queen. Bash says that the justice has been restored. The bell rings and Machu Picchu is the winner.
In a world where true crime meets the supernatural and the unexplained,
where true crime and chills go hand in hand.
Welcome to Total Conundrum, the podcast that explores the dark, the eerie, and the downright mysterious.
Join us as we embark on a spine-tingling journey through the mysteries that keep you up at night.
We're diving deep into true crime stories, uncovering the most baffling cases, and exploring the twisted minds behind them.
But we don't stop there. We're also exploring the paranormal, from haunted houses to cryptids and all the creepy things that go bump in the night. Get ready for some supernatural thrills.
And what sets us apart? Prepare for a dose of dark humor as we navigate through the creepy and bizarre.
We've got it all. Bone-chilling tales, banter, and mind-boggling conundrums. You won't know whether to scream or laugh.
So grab your favorite snack, turn down the lights, and join us for a roller coaster ride of true crime and the supernatural, sprinkled with a bit of comic banter.
Stay curious, stay captivated, and let's dive into the world of Total Conundrum.
Now available on your favorite podcast platform. Get ready to be captivated, creeped out, and cracked up with Total Conundrum.
Sam, watching, grouses about the camera people being in each other's shots. Justine appears, saying that maybe next time he should give them some direction. He tells her next time not run away so that he can to come looking for her when he's supposed to be directing. She says the costume looked good and might cut together. He agrees that it might. Uncomfortable silence and one weird answers, but easing the tension by Justine asking Sam if he wants to make out again. Oh, come on. Sam looks over in disgust. Justine says she's kidding. Sam smiles and pats his daughter on the shoulder, to which she looks on like, what the fuck? It was cringy. It was cringy again. Final showdown for the first Glow Crown. From Bolshevik Russia, it's Zoya the Destroyer, and from the rice fields of China, oh my god, Fortune Cookie. Oh man, Bash says that the Red Menace is suddenly looking menacing. Ruth opens her coat, revealing her red leotard outfit. Cancelled. Camera cuts to a shot of Mark, and Debbie looks away, who seems uncomfortable. But Mark continues to watch anyway. What is that about? Like, he saw that, and she looked away because Mark is still looking at her, or like, right. Bash introduces their opponents from the Sunshine Senior Living Center in Las Vegas, Nevada. Edna and Ethel Rosenblatt, the beat-down biddies, who come out slowly with their walkers. Bash says not to be fooled. These two are tough ladies surviving the Great Depression, World War II, poodle skirts, and menopause. They're so old, their wrinkles got wrinkles. Edna and Ethel ditch the walkers and slowly get in the ring. A man shouts from the audience, calling them lame. Edna and Ethel argue who will wrestle first, but Zoya and Fortune Cookie surge at them both. There's not much to it, and a man again shouts that it's dumb. The crowd is slightly not into the match. The biddies surge forward, but they both get kicked out of the ring. Bash declares Russia and China the night's winners, and everyone boos. Then Zoya turns on Fortune Cookie, attacking her. It's now Russia versus China. Zoya asks Fortune Cookie if she's ready. She agrees she is and gets suplexed. She is counted out 1, 2, 3. The audience boos, and Zoya says that they love to hate her. Russia is supreme world leader. I've had weeks to try to work my Russian accent. It doesn't work. Sorry, guys. The crown is brought out by Florian. Zoya says that she's victorious and nobody can defeat her, that everyone is much too sissy. From the crowd, Debbie declares that she'll fight her. Everyone turns to look at Debbie confused. Even Bash is confused. Like, what? Zoya calls her a bored housewife in dress. She calls herself a proud American mother. She speaks of freedom, saying she'll kick her Soviet ass back to Siberia. Jenny, Ethel, and Edna are happy that she was faking leaving the entire time and are excited to see what happens next. Debbie pulls off her jacket, revealing her Liberty Bell costume. The audience goes wild. She asks Mark if he can hold her jacket, and before she goes to the ring, tells him that if it's too silly for him, he can leave. Get it, girl. Liberty Bell enters the ring. They fight, set to the song Invincible by Pat Benatar. What are we waiting for? Can anybody help? No, fuck this. I don't even know the song. It is a wild match, complete with new special move that Debbie and Ruth develop. Camera angles are working, not getting each other, but very visceral, as described by Sam. The match ends when Debbie climbs the top turnbuckle while everyone watches her do the cross body block that she's practicing after a few weeks. It works as she downs to Zoya. She is the winner and Glow champion. Debbie asks Ruth if she's okay. Ruth tells her that she flew and it was epic. Debbie gets up to get her crown. Bash enters the ring asking for her name. In a southern accent, she declares herself Liberty Bell, a small town girl trying to do the right thing. What any American would do in the face of evil. Oh, I can do a good freaking southern accent, but I can't do Zoya the Destroyer. She puts on the crown, but Welfare Queen enters the ring and snatches it, placing it on her head instead. She tells her that she wants the crown back, she has to fight her for it. Debbie tells her it's over, but she replies that Sam changed it. Welfare Queen shouts to the crowd that America has turned its back on her long enough. Tonight, she takes back what she deserves. Bash and Ruth turn around to look at Sam, who is smiling and telling them to get back into character. Bash says he can't believe what he's seen. Welfare Queen slams Liberty Bell to the ground. He tells her to get back the crown, but she knocks him down too. Keith rings the bell and declares Liberty Bell out. Welfare Queen is the new champion. Bash says that it's all they've got. Debbie exits the ring, cursing Sam and asking what that was. He says that they had their sneaky little plan and he had his, one that wasn't predictable. Zoya argues that theirs wasn't either. Sam says that the American hero winning the crown was totally predictable. Debbie asked if it's now about trying to win the crown back from Welfare Queen, and he agreed that the money's in the chase. Ah, there it is. The name of the episode. He says he's going to roll the credits over to Mayhem as he heads towards the ringside area to talk to the camera crew. Ruth tells Debbie that their match was good. Debbie says that she's sure she'll hate it when she sees it, but it felt good. Ruth tells her they were great, asking if she wants to grab a drink. Debbie tells her they're not there yet. The credits roll over the chaos of the cast in the ring as Sam wanted it. During the credits, though, Sam works on editing the footage while Bash frets about the tape having been needed 20 minutes ago and that Glenn has probably canceled them already. Sam finishes up and rewinds the tape. Bash races to deliver it, bumping into at least 5 to 6 people on the way and jumping over furniture. He hands it off to a KDTV technician who pops it in. The screen goes black, and then we see the Glow Girls gather before a TV at the hotel. Debbie asks if they are sure this is the right channel. They all yell yes. Artie asks if people are going to like it, wondering if maybe nobody watches it because they really can't wrestle. She says she can't watch and gets up to leave, but they stop her and shush her. The show begins. Bash introduces the show. Bash Howard Production and Patio Town Inc. proudly present from the Hayward Hotel in Los Angeles, California. It's Glow, the gorgeous ladies of wrestling. He smiles, and the screen turns to black. And we are done. That was the season 1 finale of Glow. Alright! I had to go back and watch it from the start again because I was even shocked at that twist. Ruth and Debbie talking privately about not working the match while getting ready, and then Ruth breaking it to the girls that she's not coming. All the way to Sam calling Debbie a quitter, and Debbie not getting a reaction out of it. Who comes into a wrestling event in a trench coat only to have something hiding underneath? It was predictable. Sam knew right away, and he told Tammy to go and steal the crown and do it for her. Also, his comedic timing, it was cringy. I'm going to say it again. On par with Sam and Justine working well together, Sam yelling that he almost had sex with his daughter in front of Billy's confused mom, and Justine trying to break the ice and the tension by joking about it. I still have an issue with Sam saying he wouldn't care if Justine was underage in the last episode. So, question for season 2. What is Cherry going to decide on doing for next season? Will she stay with Glow, or will she move on with work for a TV show? What about Debbie and Mark? Will their marriage last now that she decided to stay with wrestling? I can't wait to start on season 2 and do the recap on the show. I have loved covering the show since the first episode. That's the show. That's it. That's it for tonight. Join me next time for the start of season 2, possibly another interview with a friend, and more Savage Grandma stories, plus what's going on in my workout journey. As always, follow us on our socials and support us from Under the Apron on Instagram, the Threads, YouTube, apron_stories on the Twitter. Catch us live streaming on an app near you. More info on the links where you can listen or watch in the show notes. Listen to us on Spotify, Apple, or any other audio media you can listen to podcasts on. You can Google it. It's okay. Don't forget to rate us and leave us a review. And if you feel want a little bit more, go to patreon.com/From the Apron Podcast. Support us on the Patreon. Become a top tier patron and get patron privileges. And I will shout you out at the end of every episode, like Babel B, Menace Smiling, Damien H from the Life of a 30-Year-Old Podcast, Chanel from the Nerds in Texas Podcast, Cloudy November from the No is a Sentence Podcast. I'll have the link to these podcasts in the show notes so you can all check them out. Miniature Mommy, Little Monster Atlas, Lisa's Journey, Age of Shadow 666, Marijuana Barbie, Queen of the Underworld, Disney Queen 75, Little Miss Confidence, Greenery, Hey, It's Me, Your Favorite Chick, Jaded Samia, Princess and the Weed, Daylo 17, Baby XOXO, Tiana Taylor 2, Pixie Ocean Dust, Sunshine Soul Vibe, Strawberry Milk, Ionic James, Pulse Firemark, Frenchie Catastrophe, Scotty does know. Audacious Ducky, good girl. Kit Katator, In the Name of Jacques, Smokey Ray, Donnie Real Talk, Cowboys fan, Plummy Chummy, The Rent is Late, Starry Eyes, Respect the Rank, Who the Fuck Cares, 31 Beatrix Kiddo, King Splash, Claire Hugs, Man's Lot, Mushroom Forest, Baby Lean, Lily Linguini, Doll Baby, This Girl, Cough Syrup, Positivity Person, Them Kids Ain't Mine 95, Brando 1976, Helter Skelter, Enlightened Mommy, Scotty McFly, Lieber Goddess 1993, Maxine, Stupid Edwin, over on TikTok, Hammy Man 71, Aquarius TV, Forever Jane, Awkward Leo, Socially Awkward Taylor, Mr. Meatball 86, Judith with Love, E Bunny 06, Brit Pitcher, Big Poppy Rican, Chainsaw Lollipop, Lashland, Eelsberry 10, Mario Millions, Pleasure Passport 3.0. If I haven't said it enough yet, then there's a problem. I'm going to say it one more time. Get 20% off of an adult toys when you enter discount code EVO at pleasurepassport.shop. That's discount code EVO at pleasurepassport.shop. Link will be in the show notes. Thank you guys for supporting this podcast. Patreon.com/Woman of the Apron Podcast. Get your name shouted out. Support the podcast. Check out the show notes for links to other podcast trailers you heard in this episode. Send us a message with your favorite wrestling stories, questions, comments, ratings, or requests at our email. It is from undertheapron@gmail.com. Thank you for listening, joining the live, and being a huge part of this community. Tell your friends. Join us next time for more behind-the-scenes stories, movies, and TV show reviews when we come to you from Under the Apron. I'm Evo. I'm proud of y'all. I love your faces. I swear when I drive, okay, never mind. Bye.